Imagine opening your eyes and realizing your entire day has already been rearranged for you. The emails that used to decide your mood are already triaged. Meetings that didn't need to exist quietly vanished. Tasks you forgot you promised slotted into your calendar without you touching a single button before you even open your laptop. And the uncomfortable part is this: someone else in your company may already be working like this, while you're still paying for every tiny click with your own time and focus every single day. Welcome to FTWorldTV, where we unpack how AI is quietly rewiring the modern workday. Today, we're diving into the new class of AI websites that don't just answer prompts. They plug into your email, your calendar, your documents, your project tools, and start taking over the mechanical parts of your job. Stay with me till the end, and you'll walk away with a clear mental map of how these systems automate a whole day. You'll also have a clearer sense of which part of your own workday you can safely hand off first, and what should probably stay manual for now. If you spend your day in front of a screen, knowledge worker, student, creator, manager, founder, ops person, or you're just trying to stay employable in a more automated world, this breakdown is for you. Because even if it doesn't feel urgent yet, the way your tools are wired will decide whether your future workdays feel calm and leveraged, or noisy, reactive, and exhausting. Right now, most people are still doing 1,000 tiny manual clicks a day. Checking every email, dragging meetings around the calendar, copying updates into docs and dashboards. It doesn't look dangerous in the moment, but it quietly eats hours of your life every single month. And in a world where your inbox already decides half your schedule, that hidden cost matters more than most people want to admit. Quick question for you: if an AI system could already handle half the admin in your day, would you actually trust it to do it? From chatbots to an AI work OS. For years, AI on the web meant chatbots in a browser tab. You typed, it replied. Useful, but only when you remembered to open it. Now the shift is much bigger. We're moving toward AI agent systems that behave more like invisible teammates. They read context from your inbox, calendar, docs, project tools, even CRMs, and then they act. Draft the reply, propose a time, schedule the meeting, update the record or the task. Tools like Superhuman with its Go agents or Shortwave as an AI-native Gmail client don't just give you a smarter reply button. They try to own the flow of your inbox, prioritize what matters, bundle the noise, summarize long threads, surface tasks hiding inside emails, and then draft responses in your own style. Somewhere in the back of my mind, there's this quiet voice saying, if this is assistive version 1, what does version 5 look like? And it's not just email. Motion and Reclaim AI sit directly on top of your calendar, reshuffling tasks, habits, and meetings all day long so that your schedule stays realistic instead of wishful thinking. You plan once, and the system keeps adjusting as reality hits. In plain language, instead of you babysitting your calendar, the calendar babysits your work. Now here's where it gets interesting. These websites are no longer just individual tools. They're turning into full AI work OS layers on top of everything you already use. Horizontal versus vertical. 2 ways AI eats your day. Think of your workday as 2 big layers of systems. First, the horizontal players. Think of tools like Notion AI and ClickUp Brain, the suite copilots in Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace Studio, and inbox-native clients like Superhuman. They all try to do the same thing: sit across your day and see the whole picture. Horizontal systems aim to cover your entire workflow, email, documents, tasks, dashboards, chat, as one AI layer that understands the whole picture and can orchestrate actions across it. Zapier agents and Make AI agents extend that layer into the rest of your SaaS stack. Notion and ClickUp, for example, are trying to be the place where notes, docs, and tasks all live. Inside those workspaces, their AI layers, Notion AI and the Notion AI agent on the Notion side, can create, transform, and connect those pieces for you inside one workspace. ClickUp Brain and ClickUp AI agents do something similar for projects and tasks, turning raw inputs into summaries and structured work items. Copilot in Microsoft 365 pulls from Outlook and Teams to write emails, draft documents, and summarize meetings. It also reaches into your OneDrive files and SharePoint sites to suggest action items based on what actually happened in your calls. Then you've got vertical platforms. Tools like Beam AI, Workday's AI solutions, and Lindy's operations agents don't try to automate everything. They pick a slice: recruiting coordination, HR workflows, or complex back-office processes, and build an AI employee that knows that lane deeply enough to run it in the background. Practically, that can look like an AI recruiting coordinator that screens candidates, answers basic questions, and keeps calendars aligned, or an AI work order manager that moves tickets through internal systems without a human clicking every status change. So instead of one AI website to rule them all, you're seeing a pattern: a few horizontal hubs that understand a lot about your day, and then specialist agents that handle the repetitive work in one lane extremely well. You're probably already wondering, okay, but what can this actually do for my chaotic Tuesday? What these systems really do to your workday? Let's start with the part of your day that already owns your brain: your inbox. Inbox triage and response drafting. Email-focused tools like Superhuman and Shortwave are built to stop your inbox from running your brain. Lindy and Perplexity's email assistant push the same idea further, especially when it comes to long threads and scheduling. They prioritize what matters, bundle newsletters and low-priority noise, summarize long threads, and draft context-aware replies in your tone. Perplexity's email assistant goes further for Gmail and Outlook. It can read a thread, propose reply options, and even suggest meeting times to insert straight into your calendar. In plain language, instead of you reading every line of a 40-message chain, an agent does the reading and hands you a one-paragraph summary plus a ready-to-send answer. Then there's the part of your day that always feels a bit broken: your calendar. Calendar, time blocking, and orchestration. Motion and reclaim. AI do for your calendar what these email clients do for your inbox. They automatically schedule tasks, routines, and meetings into your week, and then reschedule when new events appear or things slip. Reclaim. AI describes running millions of simulations over calendars to keep your time blocking flexible while still protecting your focus blocks and habits. Motion claims to aggressively reorder your day to fit deadlines and priorities, optimizing the schedule dozens of times a day as things change. So instead of you dragging events around at 9 p.m. thinking, "Where do I put this?" your calendar quietly renegotiates your commitments for you. In your own stack, where are you still the human glue? Copying things between tools, moving times around, patching the same problems every week. Documents, reporting, and knowledge synthesis. Microsoft 365 Copilot can draft documents, emails, and slides from the data already sitting in your Outlook and Teams world. It can also pull from your OneDrive and SharePoint data and summarize meeting recordings with suggested action items. Notion AI and the Notion AI agent can create and update pages, fill databases, and connect notes into a coherent knowledge base. ClickUp Brain and ClickUp AI agents turn raw inputs into task summaries, project updates, and structured work items. In practice, that's the difference between you manually writing the weekly update from scratch versus asking your workspace to pull tasks, conversations, and notes into a draft that you just correct and approve. CrossApp, AI Glue, agents over your stack. Zapier, agents and Make AI agents are where AI website starts to mean AI operations layer. Zapier lets you design agents that work across thousands of apps, CRMs, help desks, spreadsheets, marketing tools, and then monitor and orchestrate workflows like a digital teammate with dashboards and logs. Makes AI agents call pre-built scenarios to fetch data, act in SaaS tools, and adapt based on feedback. Beam AI pushes this idea into heavier enterprise environments, integrating with ERPs and CRMS, so agents can emulate human back-office behavior at scale. Said simply, instead of you being the glue between tools, copying numbers, updating statuses, nudging people, an AI layer becomes the glue, and you supervise whether it's doing the right thing. AI employees for repeated workflows. Lindy markets its agents as AI employees that can own ongoing tasks like inbox management, recruiting coordination, or operations work. ClickUp AI agents and Workday's AI solutions use a similar framing inside project management and HR/finance operations, recurring workflows executed by AI, with humans in supervisory seats. It's one thing to let an AI write a paragraph. It's a different feeling when that same AI is making commitments on your behalf, replying to clients, scheduling interviews, nudging invoices. Part of me wants to be excited about the leverage. Another part is quietly uncomfortable with how normal that's starting to sound. Knowledge search as your organization's second brain. Anthropic's Claude connector for Microsoft 365 leans into this too, pulling from SharePoint and OneDrive while respecting permissions. It can also reach into Outlook and Teams under the same permission model. In everyday terms, instead of spending 20 minutes searching where did we document that decision, you ask once and get a synthesized answer, plus links to the sources if you want to check. So on paper, these AI websites look like miracles. Email that handles itself, calendars that rearrange your life, agents that glue your stack together. But here's the hard question. What's the hidden cost of letting all of this run on autopilot? The risks when AI actually does things. Over-automation and error cascades. When agents can send emails, schedule meetings, or edit documents, a simple misunderstanding can ripple into messy consequences. Wrong meeting invites, incorrect promises to clients, finance or HR updates that don't match reality. That's why many vendors intentionally keep humans in the loop for final send or commit actions. You still approve the important moves, but the AI does the heavy lifting up to that point. Data privacy, security, and compliance. These tools often need deep access to inboxes, calendars, and documents. Enterprise-focused players lean hard on their security posture. Microsoft 365 Copilot stresses GDPR alignment and EU data boundaries. Perplexity highlights SOC2 and GDPR compliance for its email assistant. ClickUp Brain emphasizes SOC2 and that it doesn't train on your data. If those acronyms mean nothing to you, the short version is, they're trying to prove they're not reckless with your data. Even so, organizations have to layer their own access controls, retention policies, and audits on top, especially in regulated industries. Platform lock-in and single vendor dependency. When your entire workday depends on one ecosystem, for example, Google Workspace Studio or Microsoft 365 with Copilot as your OS, you concentrate risk in that vendor's uptime, pricing, and roadmap. If you also wire a lot of workflows through tools like Zapier and Make, or build your projects directly inside Notion or ClickUp, a single change in those layers can ripple through everything. If they change terms, raise prices, or deprecate features, it's not just annoying. It can disrupt how whole teams operate. Reliability and hallucinations. LLM-driven systems can mis-summarize, misinterpret tone, or confidently fill in details that aren't actually in your data. Most reviews and vendor docs still treat these assistants as draft makers that need verification, especially for email, legal, or finance content. So even as AI websites become more like coworkers, they're still coworkers you double-check, not autopilots you trust blindly. Adoption reality, cool demo versus real habit. If your day already feels like ping-pong between inbox, chat, and dashboards, the price you're paying is higher than it looks. Yet when you dig into user discussion threads about tools like ClickUp AI and Motion, and even systems like Reclaim AI, a pattern shows up. Teams love the demo, but struggle to turn these systems into real, long-term habits. People forget to check the agent's dashboard. They override the calendar suggestions just this once. They fall back to old patterns because that's what feels safe under pressure. So the real question isn't, are these AI websites powerful? It's, will your organization actually redesign workflows so the AI owns the mechanical work and humans focus on judgment and strategy? You're probably thinking, this sounds great in theory, but what does it actually mean for my job in the next few years? Near future AI employees and dashboards, not prompts. Over the next 0 to 3 years, the direction is pretty clear in the enterprise space. Instead of one chat window, you'll see fleets of agents with specific roles: AI Inbox Manager, AI Recruiting Coordinator, AI Work Order Manager, AI Reporting Analyst. Google Workspace Studio is already pitched as the place to create and manage AI agents for business processes inside Workspace. Zapier positions its agents as teammates that can automate tasks across thousands of apps. Make talks about building and managing intelligent AI agents as part of your business processes. In that world, your main interaction isn't typing prompts all day. It's overseeing dashboards, adjusting guardrails, and reviewing what the agents have done. You become less of a button clicker and more of a supervisor for digital operations staff. Over a few years, the people who let agents handle the mechanical layer will quietly pull ahead of the ones still doing every tiny click by hand. And honestly, part of me still isn't sure we're emotionally ready for how fast that shift is happening. Governance, guardrails, and the big open questions. A few questions are still wide open, and they matter if you're betting your workday on these systems. How much autonomy will organizations actually tolerate? Fully unsupervised agents sending emails and moving money, or draft plus approve flows that keep humans on the hook? How will governance and kill switches work? Dashboards are already emerging to monitor multiple agents, pause them, roll back actions, and audit what they've done. If you're the one responsible for a team or a process, that's the interface you'll end up living in. How will cross-vendor protocols reshape the landscape? Things like Anthropic's model context approach with Microsoft 365 hint at a world where external AI agents can operate over your suite securely, instead of everything being baked into one vendor's native AI. And underneath all of this, there's the simple economic question: do the license costs, implementation effort, and change management pain actually pay off in reclaimed time and reduced cognitive overload? For you and your team, not just in a slide deck. Vendors will talk about dramatic productivity gains, X% faster responses, 3 to 18 times productivity. But those numbers are always context-dependent, and your mileage will depend on how seriously you redesign workflows around these tools. So the core mechanism is simple. AI websites that automate your day connect to your real work systems, watch the flows, and start performing repetitive tasks on your behalf, while you shift from doing the clicks to supervising the system. So what does all of this actually mean for your own workday? If you've made it this far, your brain is clearly wired for systems and patterns, whether or not that's how you describe yourself on LinkedIn. The real story here isn't 10 cool AI websites. It's the hidden cost of not designing an AI work OS on purpose. Because if you ignore this shift, your default is simple. Your inbox continues to choose your day. Your calendar continues to be a battlefield, and you continue to pay a silent tax in attention, fatigue, and missed strategic work, while other people quietly let AI take over the mechanical layer. If your workday already feels like being dragged around by notifications, staying with this topic until you really understand it is the rational way to stop overpaying with your time. I'm genuinely curious. How far would you let an AI agent go today? Would you trust it to schedule meetings automatically? To reply to clients? To manage a whole process end-to-end? And maybe even more important, which tiny slice of your day would you actually hand off first? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading through to see how people are actually thinking about this. So when you hear AI websites that automate your entire day, it's not science fiction. It's inbox-native tools like Superhuman and Shortwave, turning email into an AI-managed queue. It's Motion and Reclaim AI, treating your calendar like a living organism instead of a static grid. It's workspaces like Notion and ClickUp, acting as your shared environment for notes, docs, and tasks. It's suite copilots like Microsoft 365 Copilot and Claude's Microsoft 365 connector, turning that scattered material into a searchable second brain. It's Zapier and make automating flows across your stack. It's Beam and Lindy acting like specialized AI operators in deeper systems. And it's Workday's AI solutions showing up inside HR and finance, all quietly behaving like AI employees running slices of your operations. You don't have to adopt every single platform. You don't have to rebuild your entire stack overnight. But the sooner you start thinking in terms of AI Work OS instead of random cool tools, the less you'll pay that invisible tax in time, attention, and mental energy over the next few years. Because staying in random cool tools mode is basically choosing to keep paying with your own time instead of pushing that cost down into the system. Remember that opening moment, waking up to a day that's already been rearranged for you? The truth is, parts of that world are already here. The real question is whether those systems are working for you or quietly training you to work around them. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share your thoughts in the comments if this sparked something for you. And if any part of this made you recognize your own workday, coming back to this later will probably reveal patterns you didn't notice on the first listen.